Hello and welcome to Not Just About Ducks with Angela. So today is not just about ducks, but we're going to make some bread. So here's the dough hook that I'm using. I'm using a Kenwood. It's a bit old and noisy, but it's fabulous. So in this dish by here, I have 1 tablespoon and a bit of, I use pink Himalayan salt. So I'll put that into 600 milliliters of lukewarm water. So I have, today I'm using Allison's Easy Bake Yeast. I do use organic yeast as well, but I have this to hand. So I'm sprinkling the Allison's, about a tablespoon. You can use, general rule of thumb is 1 tablespoon, quarter tablespoon of salt and yeast for quarter tablespoon of salt and yeast per cup of flour. So I give this a quick stir with, I like using 1 chopstick. The chopstick seems to do the job great. And that's just about done. Now I might need to use more water. So it depends on how much your flour is thirsty. Every time you buy a bag of flour, you'll find that the thirst varies on each. Mostly, you know, it varies. So I may need to add more water. I may not. Right. So in this, I have 600 milliliters of lukewarm water, and here I have a wonderful bottle, which I love to use this in all my cooking and salads especially. I don't waste this one. This one is beautiful, but I do use it in my breads, and I do use it in my salads, and you know, but then I put it away. So if my sons want to cook anything, they have to use the other oil. It is extra virgin, I only use that. So there we go. So there's that. And so in here, so I closed down the lid, and I put the mixer on low. Sorry about the noise. And then I count for each cup of flour, so I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go, that's that done. And now I give the yeast and the water a stir, and I add it to the flour and oil mix. A bit more water in a minute. Sorry about the noise. So there you are. As you can see, it's mixing. So I'll be back in just a sec. So if you take a once you've been mixing it, but to mix all the water and everything together, bring it in from the sides, the flour that is, and so that it mixes a little better. pop that in there. Close it back a bit. Let's see how it goes. Sorry about the noise. So once the water is incorporated, if you have a little feel, and you can see how wet the dough is. I like to have quite a wet dough. It gives for a better crumb and a better rise. So there we go. So we have to mix it more now. So this is about how I like it. It is still quite sticky, but that's okay. So I've raised the mixer head and I have scraped off as much as I need. Get it? The dough hook. Right, so this is where we get handy. Working with dough is quite it's a relaxing thing to do. So we just are going to go in and just pull and stretch and turn as we go. So after about 5 minutes or thereabouts on the mixer with the dough hook on quite a high setting, after you've incorporated all the water, it should come nice and sticky but cling to the sides of the bowl. Not cling, you know, it'll clear the sides of the bowl. So you do this and then, you know, it is relaxing, and you put a smidge of flour on your work surface. You don't need loads. It's good to use a dough hook because it is quite sticky, but I like to complete the working of the dough by hand. I find it pleasurable. Indeed, so you take the dough, you take it out of the bowl. Well, trying to do it with one bad hand isn't easy, because you no, the bandage, I haven't got a bandage on it anymore, but it's very sensitive, obviously, because it was the palm of my hand, you know, that they operated on, and my fingers, so all the nerves ends are knitting together now, so it is quite sensitive. So there. So let's put this bowl out of the way for a minute. Okay, so like I say, the dough is quite sticky. You just check. Use a dough scraper is good, and you just stretch and fold, which is, like I say, therapeutic. And you can see the little bubbles starting to come on the dough. That means the dough's working. And then if you stretch the dough, you know, you're constantly turning it and pulling it towards you on the counter. 2 hands is pretty dashed good. It feels nice and bouncy. So you see just a little flour on the counter. And you'll find that the more you do this, the less your hands will be messy. And again, this is quite a nice relaxing experience. And you get a bit of a workout as well, that's always good. So it's ready now for proving, or for the first rise. This dough is suitable for loaves, batons, you know, French sticks, or you can make, not ciabatta, I'll make ciabatta again, but you can make focaccia, and it is a very delicious bread, it is, and it's very easy. So there you go. See, you're doing all the stretching, which is fabulous. So as you look around here, you'll see the bubbles forming. So here we are. It is nicely risen. So we take it out of the bowl.
This was slid under my apartment door. When you were undercover, this is completely legit.
And so it's got a bit more flour. Don't need a lot, because really with this now all we're doing is, look how alive it is. Beautiful. So we just, oh my gracious. So I have decided to make a focaccia. So I'm just gonna divide my dough up. So
you think your marriage is rocky now, kiddo? Just wait till your wife finds out about you and your star witness.
So I've put some baking sheets on my pizza plate. So with the focaccia, really, I'll just stretch it a bit. That's it. It doesn't have to be a beautiful shape, just as you want it. I could put it in.
Who else? Is there anything I should know?
I love baking bread, and I love the feel of it. So just so there it is. I will just place that for its the second rising. And with this I will make one or two sticks So you don't need to pummel your bread. You just need to make a little bit of a backbone. Just check. I can't roll the dough yet properly. I haven't got the maneuverability of my hand yet.
I went to Detective Amaro earlier outside the police station. I told him that I was a friend.
So here's that one.
He said that he could protect me if I went to intelligence.
Top pocket.
So there we are. So I just get my tray. So I use these, I do use greaseproof paper, but when I buy my flour from Shipton's Mill, I also order some of these greaseproof baking basket shapes, so that they insert inside a basket, which I also buy, a wooden basket, and so you can make little loaves. But when I make a brioche or whatever, then so on this chopping board, let me put the light on a bit. There are organic black Kalamata olives, my own garlic chopped out of the garden. I grew it last year, so this is last year's garlic, peeled and chopped. This is oregano, obviously chopped tomatoes, and I think I'll put some pepper, you know, orange pepper, sweet pepper in it as well. To do this, a little, I can put the olive oil on in a bit. So once again, this is the oil I'm using. It's from Italy, southern Italy. I find with olive oil now, unless you actually read the label, it will, you know, even if you buy an Italian olive oil, it will say produce of European countries, mixed, blended. So if I buy olive oil, I don't want to buy a blended olive oil, I want to buy a pure olive oil, you know. Okay, so I'm just going to dribble a little bit of olive oil, not too much. That seemed like a lot, but one-handed. So this now I'll put in the oven, and it will be on hot, at 225, so that will go up there. Yes, and then these then will go just underneath, so that's 225 for roughly 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So, right, okay, so I'm just going to dribble a little bit of olive oil, not too much. That seemed like a lot, but one-handed. So this now I'll put in the oven, and it will be on hot, at 225, so that will go up there. Yes, and then these then will go just underneath, so that's 225 for roughly 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So, right. So, I'll be with you again once it all comes out of the oven. Hopefully it works. So, here we are after I've just taken them out of the oven now. So, we've got two nice battens and a nice focaccia. It took 25 minutes in the oven at 250. So that's nearly a maximum setting on the oven, but you want it to cook quite, you know, and it has to be a, you know, the light needs to, it has to have reached the temperature before you put your bacon in there. So that's it. Thanks very much for watching. It's Angela with Not Just About Ducks with today's bacon, and that's it. Thank you. God bless. Bye.